happy to introduce Mr. Alan Weeks today. He's an investor and entrepreneur, and his company is NuAvenue Assets. Hi, Alan.
All right, Vess, how are you? Hey, everyone at AV Academy, how are you? Pleasure to have me. What do I should say? So
We're happy, pleasure to have you. So, yeah.
Wait, I almost said you're welcome.
You're welcome. There you go.
Edit that shit out. Good to see you guys, everyone. I'm kidding. I'm still waking up with my coffee, but here we go.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen, why don't you take a minute and tell everybody a little bit about your experiences as a business owner, an entrepreneur, and an investor?
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. It's a long story, but I'll give everyone the shortest story possible. There's some good nuggets in there. But I've been an entrepreneur as long as I can remember. Even as a teenager, I always opened up these little companies and selling stuff out of magazines, and they always failed. You know, I've had more experiences of failure than successes, but I guess I'll just start with LA. You know, I lived in LA over 20 plus years and always been entrepreneurial by nature. During that time, I was involved in the entertainment industry, affiliate marketing, online marketing, and you know, I didn't feel quite fulfilled during those times, but I always knew there was something more for me to do. And I discovered through watching a lot of TV shows and always being kind of envious of people in the real estate game, I'm like, man, I'd always want to do that, you know, why not do it? So I discovered I had a passion for real estate and a passion for real estate investing, because instead of being a construction guy or development guy, I wanted to own the houses, rent them out, make some money, and feel like I was a kingpin with all these properties, you know. Right. So from 2005 to 2008, I decided to become a real estate investor, and in Las Vegas, actually, where the market was super hot, and I bought 5 doors and held on to those. I did you know, 80-20 financing. Was 100% financing. I thought it was cool. Had 5 doors or fulfilled with, you know, tenants, had with a property manager, and it kind of turned into be a little bit of a challenge. But in 2008, I think people in the real estate understand the bubble kind of burst, and I got my ass handed to me, to say the least. Hope we can cuss here. But, so that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So back to the affiliate marketing I went. And, you know, I was quite successful in that, but I was still, again, I wasn't fulfilled. And one day, due to a series of life events, I got slapped in the face, like, bang, Alan, what are you doing? You're burned out. You're not happy. You're kind of over LA. Wake up. What can I do? What can I do? And just like, duh, real estate, man. It's been sitting on the back burner for a while, right? So I decided, hey, man, I took massive action. Picked up all my stuff, said goodbye to the world in LA, and moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I'm located now. And opened up, about a month later, opened up a real estate company called NuAvenue Assets, and I've been full-time ever since. Wow. So that's kind of the short story. But, you know, had a lot of fun, a lot of challenges in between. But I guess I'll put a little thing at the end of that. The moral of that quick story is take action, pursue your dreams, get it going. You're not guaranteed today or tomorrow, I should say. You know, don't let fear.
I think you said massive action. That was key.
Yeah. So here I am, and yeah, you know, I guess we'll talk about COVID, I'm sure, and all that fun stuff. But yeah.
We will. You mentioned something. You said, you know, you got your ass handed to you a couple of times, and you feel like you failed quite a bit. This whole thing is about taking fear of failure and turning it into profits. Talk to me a little bit about some of the fears you've had to overcome, and some of the issues you've had to overcome, and how you managed to do that both mentally and physically.
I mean, everybody has fears. I think we've spoken about this in past times, but it's a fake emotion, and it's easy to say, but everybody gets afraid, of fear, or, you know, of something. But what other people may think, sorry, I got to use my notes here. I apologize, but, you know, my biggest fear, Vess, and I'll get into a little bit more nitty gritty, is running out of time. And I mentioned that, you know, everybody's think we have this, you know, infinite amount of time. Time is not guaranteed. Today is the only one guaranteed. Tomorrow isn't. So what are you going to do in between, you know, then and now? Don't be afraid of it. Go all in. But you know, we're going to talk about fear of failure, fear of what other people think. What if this doesn't work? But how about flip this? What if it does? Who cares what other people think? You know. And since we're talking about one of my biggest fears is talking to people. But it's kind of fun, you know, jazzing people up, making them laugh. So I used to be afraid, little fear of public speaking, I guess. I think we all have that. But I think the biggest thing for me is I don't want to be sitting on my deathbed one day out of time and saying, shit, I wish I did all the things I wanted to do, you know, and not leaving my legacy behind in the world a better place. And that sounds a little woo-woo and, you know, political or whatever, just a little spiritual, but that's who I am, man. All I have to say is, you know, F fear. Just, you know, so you asked, I think, going back, some of the fears that I had and past experiences, past businesses I have was just that. It's just the fear of not succeeding or the fear of not doing or not knowing somebody that can help you through these fears. So you have to dig deep and just do it, you know. The obstacle is the path, right? So.
Exactly. How did you manage to pivot with some of the quote unquote failures or challenges you had to go through?
You know, they can be paralyzing and you're kind of like, oh, what to do? So you know, as entrepreneurs, we look for help. We'll read a book, we'll look for a mentor, and I hope we get to talk about that later. You know, network with other entrepreneurs and share experiences, know that you're not alone, build that tribe of support. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So
I had something else to say, but I think I'll wait for the next question on that one. Yeah.
Feel free to talk. It's okay. So your success now, I mean, it's amazing and good for you. And this process wasn't that easy. You learned a lot, knowing what you know now, and especially because we're still kind of perhaps coming out and out of this COVID thing, right? Knowing what you know now, if you had to start all over again, what would that process look like?
Oh man, that's a good one. I love it. I gotta pull my notes up here. I was gonna say, I'll come back to it. I have so much I want to share with you, but the first thing, if I had to start over, this is the biggest thing, everyone. Discover your why. I'm not talking about, I want to get me some money, I want to get me some Lambos, I want to get a boat, I want to get houses. I'm talking about dig so deep of your reason why, because we all have it, that when you think about it, write about it, talk about it, it brings tears to your eyes, your voice gets elevated, kind of like mine is now. You get passion in your eyes, you get goosebumps. Dig deep. You know, my why is I can't stand homelessness and I can't stand hungry people, meaning I want to feed them and I want to house them. I don't like seeing hunger. It drives the out of me. Being from LA, San Diego, all over LA, you've been to LA, Vest, you understand that when you see that, just tears people apart. So do something about it. That's my why. Also, contributing to the greater good, you know, and being a beacon of light and a bunch of negativity. Just, you know, you can hear my voice kind of get, you know, find your reason why. So if I started over, I would have found my reason why a long time ago, and it took me a while to figure out that that's what's been bugging me, you know. So do something about it. I was like, oh, I'll give them $20 or here, but you know, I decided to do something about it. Meaning, part of my why and part of my company's values is during a transaction, at the end of a transaction, I allow the buyer or the seller to give and choose a portion of the proceeds of the profits to this menu of charities. Like obviously that. Homelessness, veterans, hungry folks, you know, stuff like that. So that's the biggest thing. Do your reason why. Now, the second thing I would do is I would get a freaking mentor ASAP. Somebody that's not, somebody's trying to sell you something online, someone that has been there, done that, and it has a successful record that shows that you have to get a mentor. That's one of my biggest mistakes, is not getting a mentor right away, because they've done it. Would you rather spend a bunch of time, I'm an entrepreneur, and I sound cool, making all these mistakes, losing your booty, you know, meaning financially, and like I did in the real estate back in 2005, 2008, but they help you compress time. And I'd rather time, like I said, time is super valuable. You think we have a big plethora of it waiting, you don't. Compress time, get it done quicker, smarter, let their mistakes be your lessons. And most of the folks that I hang out with and I found them, and you got to look for them and earn their trust. They want to help. They really want to help people succeed, because, you know, just it's good stuff to do. They love doing it. But next thing I'll do, and this is what I would do if I started over. I remember this is still the same question. I would join a mastermind group ASAP too. Mastermind group. For me, it's real estate investors, but it could be a mixture of successful business people. It could be a person that owns, you know, a string of restaurants, someone that owns clothing store. It doesn't matter. They all have a journey, and you all find a common thread there. It's obviously creating a tribe and just elevates you, just jazzes you up, and you're, again, taking the short route. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Obviously, that's why Vess and I talk, you know, that vibrate on your frequency, and I won't get too deep into that, but you get it. When they're talking and you're elevating and you just get into that flow state and you get excited, let's do this. That's vibrating on your same frequency.
Yeah.
You know, stay positive, you know, no negative self-talk. Just don't do it. I know it's hard sometimes, but you just can't. And Vess and I had a conversation about this earlier. Getting an accountability partner. Not your buddy, not your friend to kick your butt when you're not doing it. I'm talking about someone you probably don't know that's been there, done that, that'll hold you accountable to get it done. You know, focus. I just said, get it done. Focus on your passion. These are the things I didn't do, you guys. I do now because I've learned through what I'm trying to share with you now. But pick a lane and stay in it. Bright, shiny object sucks for entrepreneurs. Oh, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go here. If you don't have an answer as an entrepreneur, what's the first thing you do? You avoid your issue. You try to find something that's going to fix it, an app, a book, avoidance. Just pick your lane and stay in it. All the successful people that you and I and all your viewers know is, if you just look for a success story, a self-made billionaire, they aren't all over the place. They picked a lane, they stood in, and they're billionaire with a B, you know, specify goals, measure them, adjust. These are things I didn't do, guys, and I'm doing it now, and ladies, of course. Get a VA to do the non-revenue generating activities. Work on your business, not in it. Get rid of that stuff, that $10 an hour work that's holding you down and from you pursuing and fulfilling your passion, getting where you need to be, you know. Almost done, Vess, sorry.
That's okay. This is great.
Keep learning and growing. Always learn. Learn to speed read. Learn a language. Read freaking books. A lot of them. And I'm not talking about novels. I'm talking about business books.
Right.
Don't watch the freaking news so much, you guys, okay? It's negative, but anyhow. Research sales relentlessly. Sales is an everyday thing that everybody needs. And if you're not good at it, you're not going to succeed. And I'm not talking about car sales, respect, because there's a lot of multimillionaire car sales guys out there and ladies. But you have, everything's a sales pitch, from convincing someone to get on her show,
Yeah.
convincing your child to go to sleep or go to school or clean up the mess. You get it? So, and eat clean and exercise. And again, to reiterate, these are things I've learned throughout the years that I wasn't doing, but have led me to this path of success. And one thing I was going to say earlier, Vess, is successes and failures. Every failure is not a mistake. Mistakes and failures are successes. They're lessons to build on. So don't be afraid to fail, and fail frickin' fast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done on that part. How's that?
I love that. I love that. I mean, so on point. Listen, let me go back to something, because this has come up a couple of times, finding your why. It was earlier this year, right when the whole COVID thing happened, I signed up for KBB with Tony and Dean. And that was one of the things that they have a tool called the 7 levels D. And that was a tool I used to find my why, because I thought I knew it. But once I went into it, I was like, oh, okay, that was interesting. How did you find your why? Is there a tool that you used? How?
It was a lot of soul searching and recounting experiences in the past of things that bugged me and bothered me that I could actually do something about. My dad was a veteran. And he wasn't homeless or anything, but seeing, you know, the suicide rate, we have a mutual friend that's been through a lot of things like that, you know, and that just the homelessness, helping veterans, that shouldn't happen. And being hungry as well, just all that, it just really struck a chord with me. Now, the tool that I used was digging deep, but it took me probably 3 weeks of just blah, 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 writing and finding it and then, oh, crap, okay, I feel it now. That's my why. What am I going to do about it? So basically, for me, I wish I had a tool, but the tool is your mind, your heart, and your soul. Just write, journal, think, record something on your iPhone, listen to it. And, you know, your why can change. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It's always going to change. The older you get, the more experience you have, it's going to change. And that's quite all right. But make sure that your why leads a path of, you know, you know, you leave something good in its wake as your why changes. I hope that makes sense. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, once again, no specific tool. I just started writing, you know,
Well,
to myself and thinking.
writing
Yeah.
is a big tool, and sitting in silence. I think again this year I've always been told to write in a journal, and I never did. And this year I actually started doing that, and seeing it on paper
Mm-hmm.
also helps you work through these things that normally you'd blur out. But that's important, because I think that that's where a lot of people get lost or feel stuck,
Mm-hmm.
when they can't figure out, and they can't figure out why. So if you actually sit down with yourself and figure out what moves you, then you can pivot yourself in a position where you can be successful and help and really truly get something out of it and contribute in life. So I like that. That's very good. The second portion you mentioned that I want to cover is getting a mentor.
Mm.
What advice would you give to people? Because like I'm one of those, I love to grow, I love to learn. But I did catch myself a couple of times where I would read all the books and do all the master classes with Dean and Tony, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Russell Branson, and then I'll do that
Yeah.
one, and then I'll jump over to the next one, and then so and so, and then you start getting a little overwhelmed, right? So what advice do you have for people to just kind of stay in that, pick one, maybe one or two, and where do they find them? And is it one-on-one conversation? Some people don't have the money to spend, or is it online following, books?
It's like, yeah, you got a bright, shiny object syndrome, which is great. All us entrepreneurs do. But one thing I want to say about all the guys, you know, the Dean Graciosis, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson's, Ed Milet's, all the people you and I follow, and check them out, all of you.
Yeah.
You'll see a common thread there. They want to help. They'll talk about their why. They focused on one thing, and now they're so successful they want to give back and create. You know, they're in their own tribe. You know what I mean? But they want to help. And we can go on about that. How do you? My niche is real estate investing. So I figured I'm going to go find these cats and set my place at the table with them. Okay, so shoot, there's several of them, but you know, Ken Clothier is one of them. Justin Colby, Sean Terry. You can find all these people if you're in this space. Find them online, watch them, and see if they resonate with you. If they touch a chord, is their attitude, the way they present themselves, like yours? You know, do you vibe with them? There we go with my vibration thing again. And either you just watch their videos, reach out, sign up for an email. They do special, you know, especially for folks at all types of or all levels of entrepreneurship. They'll have entry-level mentorship programs. There might be an online training thing, and you're going to go try to get distracted, but all, you know, Vess, all your distractions are actually in the same. They're great distractions, but you just got to pick a lane, and it's hard. It's hard, but just that's one of the challenges of being an entrepreneur. And one of the lessons is pick me. You only need one mentor. You can have two. You can have a personal mentor for spirituality and all that, and a business mentor. Yeah. How to find them at a starting level to repeat. Online videos, read their books, listen to podcasts. It's free information. They're sharing their years of experience, their mistakes, trials, tribulations, failures, successes with you. And that will grow as your business grows. Maybe you don't have the means yet, or you will have the means. Yet is a huge word too. And then you can say, hey man, let me join your group. And here's another thing. And this is what was told me. If there's a will, there's a way. Take a freaking loan out. That's how serious it gets, because now when you go take a $25, $30, $50, $100,000 loan out to get a mentorship with these guys, some of them are $100,000 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and my mentors get Ken Clothier, one of my mentors, gets mentored by Ed Milet, who actually mentors Tom Brady, who actually is Tony Robbins' best buddy. See how this crew is kind of in the same tribe? You'll find a way. If you're really serious and passionate about it, and this is what you're determined to do, the best thing you can do is spend outside of your means, because shit just got real. I got to pay this back. But in the interim, it's $20,000. That $20,000, let me back up. That $20,000 of investment, it's never a freaking bill, it's an investment, will get you how much tenfold? Go find out. It's really not that much, you know, or whatever it is, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, I don't know. It's worth it. I know I have long answers. Just freaking do it. Find them. Find somebody that resonates with you. Follow them. Call them. Email them. They'll get on the phone with you if you have the chops or the tenacity, the passion to try to talk with them. Reach out. and keep up on it. Be persistent. They'll say, what's up? Well, how can I help you?
Right. Right. 100%. And I think it's so important to mention this again. It's an investment in yourself. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. And I almost wish I would have done more when I was younger. Like I said, I think this whole COVID thing was kind of an awakening of, okay, what's next in my life? And this is kind of how I came about all this and haven't stopped. And it has made a huge difference in my life. But, I see people all the time, they're justifying they can go out to dinner for 100, $200, 3, 4 days a week. But then God forbid a coach or a mentor is like, oh,
Too expensive. Right.
yeah,
It's crazy. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I can't, I can't, it's kind of like, I'll touch on the health thing. Oh my God, all those nutraceutical supplements and going to the gym is, $500-$600 a month, but you can go out and bowl with your buddies on a weekend at down the street or whatever, it's like, it's a mindset. All you have to do, folks, is take it and twist it. Really just look.
I like that. I like that. Speaking of mindset and success, so what is success? How do you define success?
Oh, I love it. Let me find my answer. Success is, oh, I want to talk about this. Where is it? I don't know. Oh, I remember now. Oh, I love these questions, by the way. Sorry, I talk fast. One thing I got to say, just side note, you'll notice I talk fast, I walk fast, I think fast, I just get excited about it. You know why? Because I have shit to do. Why, everyone? Life's too short. Got to get it done. You got to compress time, get as much done in the day as you can. So that's my side note. So I apologize if I speak too fast. There's software that you can slow my voice down, but anyhow, here we go. Success, simply put, is freedom. The freedom to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. I want to, and making sure that I'm a beacon of light and inspiration to people, making people laugh, contributing to the greater good, serving others, providing value, helping others, leaving a legacy. Does that kind of, and I'm doing this to your viewership, what's that sound like? It's my why.
Yeah.
Kind of broadly spoken, it's my why. So it sounds kind of woo-woo and kind of broad, but it is, it's about freedom. I want to be able to, and I've had the opportunities throughout these careers or these businesses that I've had, super successful, super not successful. The not successful ones are lessons, but go be semi-retired. Go do what you want, when I want, with who I want. But during those times, I was searching for the next thing I wanted to do, So it's freedom. And we all have it. We all have the capability of doing it. You don't have to be a slave to a job. Create your own future. That's another thing I get passionate about. It's like, just freedom. I'll just say freedom. Okay.
I think a lot more people are starting to wake up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I feel like in the last couple of years, more and more people are starting to awaken in that whole mindset of, wow, I don't need to be in a corporate environment. I can actually do this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. So
some people think that, success is a Lambo, a house, and those things that everybody's deserving of happiness and abundance and opulence and wealth. And yes, go get it, want it. There's nothing wrong with it, but make sure you're helping people in the process. That's freedom. I hope that makes sense, but there's no, just make sure you're doing good for other people and you understand what freedom is, freedom to be heard too. Right. So, all right.
So my favorite question out of this whole thing is morning routines. We all have our routines, or we should. And I always love asking business people and entrepreneurs about their morning routine because that sets the standard for the rest of your day. It says the intent for the rest of your day. Will you please describe and share yours?
Yeah, thank you. I'd love to. I have to say one of the most important things you can do is have a solid morning routine. It helps you put in a correct positive mindset, conquer the day, wakes up the body, wakes up your body, your mind, puts you in a proactive and non-reactive state. Unfortunately, and this is a tough one, especially now, first thing we do is like, ring, ring, alarm, social media, social media, social media. No, don't do it. It sets off, I don't know the word, which tone in it is, but when you start looking at Instagram and all these BS, food, Lambos, vacations, boats, it puts your mind in, what is it? Serotonin, not serotonin, what the feel-good drug. So your body What's that?
Serotonin is the feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't put yourself in a mindset. And I tested this. And so I won't go into that. But what I do actually is I wake up and I say a few positive affirmations out loud. It's a great day. It's going to be a good day. Now, let me rephrase that. Something really important I have to say. It's going to be versus it is huge, because you're setting intentions. It is a good day. It is a productive day. It is a happy day. I am making people laugh. Things like that. Sounds kind of cheesy. Try it. No one else is listening, but you're setting it out there into the universe, and and it puts your mind in that state. So I might be laying in bed, get up, make some coffee. We've spoken about this. I drink this thing. It's not well, I won't say it because you might think I'm doing a plug for the brand, but I drink organic coffee with lion's mane and chaga in it, and it actually puts me in a flow state. It calms me down, tastes fantastic. I write in my 5-minute journal app. Now, and it's an app, obviously, on whatever Google or App Store. It actually asks you 3 things during the day, and just go check it out. But I'm journaling, okay? Then I do a mobility routine, which is a bunch of body movements, wakes up the lymphatic system, gets me going while the coffee's brewing and all that. And then I sit down and I put we talked about this morning. I put brainwave entrainment meditation in instead of music and da-da-da, nothing wrong with music. I love to get down on me some music, but train your mind, put it in that whatever theta or whatever state it is, like, ooh, just kind of a weird sound, but it puts you in that mindset of conquering. Now, while I'm listening to that, I read a book, a chapter. And if you guys are wondering, start with that one, wherever you are. Hold on. Can you see that?
Yes.
Read that.
Great book.
Read it over and over and over. And the one thing I want to say is read it and listen to it.
Yeah.
And listen to it and read it over and over. Talk to your subconscious. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. I read a full chapter, then I conquer the most critical tasks of my day first. I'm in proactive, not reactive state. I don't care if someone's texting me, what are you doing tonight, man? Let's let it go. It's not life altering, and just conquer the critical task of the day first. That's my morning routine. Certain days of the week, I also train. It's super important, go to the gym, just get it done. You have to be healthy, eat healthy, eat clean. You have to, if you're going to play at this level, I'm not talking about my level. I'm talking about our level collectively, this level.
Right.
So, yeah.
I really like that little golden nugget you just threw in there, tackling the most critical tasks first. I think we're all, and I've caught myself in the past doing that, where we tend to do the things we like or easier for us first, and by the time you're done, you feel like you moved the needle, but not really, because those were more of the busy stuff, right? So you're the second person I've heard this from, is to tackle the most critical and probably the things you want to do the least, but are the most important first and foremost. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons for that. I don't know the terminology, but it does something to your mind. It puts you in a state. Getting the hardest things out of the way, it plays with your reward system, and then the rest seems easy. One thing I have to mention is time blocking. Do you mind if I talk about that for a minute?
No, please, go ahead.
I discovered through, I'm a performance advocate. I explore all this stuff and I try to do my best. Again, about time to get most done as possible in the least amount of time possible. But there's a thing I learned called the 52-17 rule. And you might be familiar with the Pareto principle, or is that the right one? The 80-20 rule? No, the Pomodoro method is what I'm talking about. So what I do to get myself in a flow state, conquering those most important tasks of the day, is you set a little timer on your Mrs. iPhone here, and you set it for 52 minutes, and you do not do anything except that task. No distractions, no nothing, full on focused work. When that timer goes off, it doesn't matter unless you're on a phone call or something. I'm talking about, individual work. Shut the timer off and set a 17-minute timer and walk away from your business, your job, your office, go pet your dog, call your wife, get a cup of coffee, do not think, go outside, get some air, something totally unrelated to work. And then you do that, you come back, when that timer goes off, you come back and you do the other task for 52 minutes. And what you'll find is it's a whole ultradian rhythm. There's a rhythm in your mind, and it puts you in a flow state. And you realize that it's 10 hours later, if you go hard, or 8 hours later, you've done more work in that 8 hours than you've done in a week because you're in a flow state. I've done it for a while. It takes practice. And I'll be like, wow, it's 5 o'clock and I just killed it today. And, and you can do different time sets. But the 52-17 rule is based on data from a time tracking app. And they have millions of data sets. And they scraped the top 20% of these people, and they researched what they're doing and what time frames that they worked, and they were most productive doing 52-17. You know that 3 o'clock low we have, or after lunch, stuff like that? That doesn't exist. It goes away. It's crazy. I don't care if you eat a freaking bunch of carbs, you still are in a flow state. It actually gives your mind and your body, it works with the chemistry of your body. And it works. Just try it. 52-17 rule, you know.
I'm gonna have to try that because I'm one of those, again, when I start, I just don't stop, and I'll forget to eat. I'll forget to drink water. It'll be from 5 a.m. till like 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then you're like, why do I have a headache? Why do I not feel good? Why am I being moody? Oh, wait, I haven't eaten all day, you know? So that's a great point. Okay, so it's 52-17, right?
Yeah, you can Google if you want to learn about it. There's variations of it. It could be the 52-17 rule is the one I chose.
Okay.
The Pomodoro method has been around for a while, but it's a little complex. I think you said a 20-minute time, work in 20-minute blocks. You can work in whatever blocks you feel, but try this one out. Push yourself, especially you, Vest, because you go in flow state for 12 hours a day. That's what entrepreneurs do. That's great. But just think what you can do if you start working with your body chemistry, your mind. You get more done in less time, and you won't burn out, which I experienced, and we've all experienced several times. Full on burnout.
Oh yeah.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I'll send you the information, but you can Google 52-17 rule. Super simple. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. I really appreciate you. Anything else you want to share before we get off here?
Let's see. Thanks for having me and listening to me. And I hope I helped somebody. Just one little nugget sets the mindset and gives you a spark. And I would love to hear feedback from anybody that I helped. And I'm open to helping them more. You can share my information with them. And if they have questions about anything I said. One thing I want to say, I didn't make this stuff up, guys and ladies. This is been going on. What's funny, I keep going back to this book. This dude's been talking about it for 80-something years, a long time ago. This is nothing new, and it works. So most of success is mindset. It really is. It's mindset. Be positive and mindset. Some of the biggest success stories that I've heard, witnessed, been a part of, has just been a mindset. Let's talk about Tony Robbins. Let's talk about The Rock. Let's talk about Richard Branson, Ed Milet. These people are taking showers outside of the pool because he couldn't even afford his water. Now he's a youngest, most successful 40 under 40, probably a $500 million guy, self-made billionaires. How did they do it? They didn't have all the stuff we have today. And let me say one thing, with all the things that we're spoiled with, the technology, the books, the wisdom, blah, 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 we have it so much easier than those cats did back in the day, right?
Sure.
So what's your excuse? Just do it. Time is now. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Time is now, and it's never too late to start. I think one thing, sometimes, not to be negative, but sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, God, now that I know this, I wish I would have done this the last 10 years of my life. It's never too late to start. Start somewhere, right?
Never, ever.
Mental.
I mean, there's, the younger, exactly. Who was it? I think Ed Milet started late. He's actually a real estate investor as well. A lot of the guys and ladies that I've followed are started late, and they're billionaires with a B now.
Yeah.
Look up Jesse Itzler, Ed Milet. Just follow the people. Warren Buffett said something to somebody. I'm probably going to slaughter this, but he goes, the question was, how do you become a billionaire? What do I do? He goes, it's simple. It's all out there. Just do what we do, just on a smaller scale, and build it. And it's true. It's been out there. This is just do what they do. And it sounds easier said than done, but just think of it that way. Why can't you? Just do it, right? I sound like a Nike commercial, don't I?
No, that's been great.
But again, realistically, and I'll shush. It's not as easy as it sounds. And that pressure makes diamonds, everyone, and that's not supposed to be easy. And you've heard this before. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And that's the point. Entrepreneurs is us, are the cream of the crop. We're the ones that make the country revolve. We keep, we change lives, we inspire, we change everything. So just do it. We need you guys and ladies out there, okay?
100%. Thank you again. I really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to having you again.
I would love that. Thanks for everyone listening. I appreciate it. It's been an honor.